Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Giving Tuesday, apparently. I thought that was in December, but I think there's another one now.
They moved it up. Everybody was scrambling. Everybody's like, oh my God, I have to give like tomorrow.
Something's got to give these days.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, really.
Oh,
really. So let's start by introducing our very special guest, Erin Penner. Erin Penner is the founder of this totally cool outdoor preschool called Inspired Little Activists. And she usually holds classes in Griffith Park, but that has not been happening lately. And I know she misses her kids dearly. She's also an elected official in Hollywood United Neighborhood Council and does all sorts of work in the Hollywood community, in the LGBT community, in the unhoused population. And she's just generally kick ass. And as a side note, she's a Boston girl. So we totally
Boston
so I know there's a lot of Boston people watching.
Yeah.
So we're going to have fun today. We're going to make some postcards. We're going to do some crafts. And we're just going to hang out with Erin. So hi, everybody. If you have any comments or questions, just let us know.
Awesome. Thank you for that intro. And I didn't even pay you to say all that.
We love you, Erin Penner.
I know.
We are very glad that Robin and Madonna introduced us to you.
Right?
Yes.
No, they're like the connectors of the community for sure.
They are. They are.
Robin McWilliams and Madonna Cacciatore. For those of you that don't know them, look them up.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're amazing people, and we will have them on a live sometime soon, I hope.
That's our hope.
Sure, that would be a good one.
We haven't asked yet. We have to get them to wear their costumes from the other day. Erin and Robin and Madonna posted these photos the other day. A friend stopped by their apartment, their condo, wearing a scary giant puffy clown suit. It's impossible to describe, and brought them a pink unicorn.
Yeah.
And what was the other one? Oh, a spaceman.
Yeah. Those
right.
are huge inflatable costumes. I don't even know how those work, how the air stays in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but picture those like inflatable things on your yard at
but you're inside them.
And they went and stood on the side of the road with signs
that said, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, stuck in the middle with you. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Still go back and look and laugh at them. It's great.
Yeah.
I think a global pandemic just wipes out any shame these days.
Yeah.
I do a lot more than I would normally be doing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, I've said it before, like on day 4 of our quarantine, we moved the piano into the middle of the living room. Like, yeah, it'll be much better here. Let's put it, it's like literally in the middle of our living room. I keep stubbing my toe on it. And it's like, it makes total sense.
Hung plants in my shower now so that like I'm outside.
I thought you were misting them, making them.
I am every day, all day. My dog has seen the worst side of me because I'm a freak show in here.
The dogs will thrive.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want me to show you all the craziness that I've been doing? Are we going to do postcards together?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We got supplies.
Yep.
Oh, well done.
It was an excuse to order colored markers through the business. Like, man, I really need colored markers if we're going to look professional.
Well, one thing I can say that I've been doing, but I do it all the time anyway, is especially for, we had Earth Day, I think it was April 22nd. And in April, it's my favorite month to teach because I make it Earth Month. And
Cool.
I mean, I teach it all year, but especially with sustainable stuff and recycling and making art with whatever's around the house. So I made paints, which I always do, out of stuff in the kitchen.
Oh, that's cool.
So
hey, Erin, We have a request from one of our listeners. Can you get closer to the microphone?
Sure, let's see.
Thank
oh
you.
God, that mean my face is gonna be closer?
Everybody close your eyes.
Grab some wine and put your drinking goggles on. Hopefully that's better. But
you.
so I was saying, I made paints from stuff in the kitchen because now that we're especially cooped up, rather than go on Amazon and give Jeff Bezos any more money for art supplies,
Yeah,
I made paints out of, let's see, beet juice. So I boiled beets and let them steep in it for a while. And then I did an experiment, and I made paint from Japanese sweet potatoes. This is like the nerdiest I've ever been in my life. But
No, that's awesome. I have a Japanese sweet potato. I'm going to try it.
do you really?
Mm-hmm. I got it by accident.
Awesome. So I did, and then I used coffee. I always make coffee paint because I drink coffee like crazy, and you just make it really strong. But it turns out, so the Japanese sweet potato does like a blue color.
Ooh.
And then that's the beet juice, and then that's the coffee. So I've been making all of these postcards with paint from the kitchen. And you can use like curry powder and turmeric and all kinds of stuff. But they came out like the Japanese sweet potato is cool. And there's also a texture to it. So
That's cool.
yeah, so I was just kind of playing around with it. But I've been doing that as like a basis for my nerdy postcards.
That's awesome.
I love
So,
that.
tell everybody what you do. Tell everybody about the school.
So it's an outdoor preschool. It's very small. This year I had 10 kids, ages 2.5 to 5. And we meet in the park and we hike all day, and we do field trips about once a week on the LA Metro. And because I also work for the city as an elected official, and I'm really obsessed with Los Angeles in a crazy way, I do it to teach kids to take ownership of their city, which is what, when I started a nonprofit with my partner Robin about 5 years ago, that was the whole idea, is that, and as like Boston girls, you really take hold of where you live. And if anyone talks shit about Boston, of course you're going to kill them. But in LA, we don't have that. There's such a disconnect because everyone's a transplant. So the parents don't really teach their kids that stuff. So that's generally what I do with the kids, is teach them community and take part in their city. We clean the parks, we clean the beaches. I take them to City Hall. They meet the fire department and the police department, and they really just become obsessed with their city. So that's kind of what the whole school is about.
And how old are they?
2.5 to 5. And funny, I had a meeting with someone at another school last week who wants me to kind of come to their school and teach this philosophy, but I'm actually certified for elementary education, and I never liked the younger grades. And then it kind of hit me as I was assisting in another preschool that it's not that I don't like the other grades, it's that we baby kids too much, and we kind of talk down to them. And I took it as a challenge to be like, I'll treat a 2.5-year-old like they're 6, which is what I do. And the parents are kind of shocked and they love it. And the kids come home and they're talking about like Harvey Milk at age 3. And it just teaches us all that these kids can handle more stuff, and they love it. And then they teach adults what they've learned.
One of my favorite things you did is, I think it was around the time of like the Women's March, the first or second Women's March, and you had all the kids make posters, protest posters, and they were like, "Save the bees."
Yeah, that's my favorite activity, and we do it especially in November when it's election time. But oh God, they write the cutest things of stuff that they're really passionate about. It makes us all very teary, but it is like plant more trees, save the ants, and stuff like that. I teach them to be little ball busters. It's really cool.
And really, there is not a group that really is trying to protect the ants. So it's important.
Yeah, that's
Someone's
true.
got to step up.
Someone's got to do it.
And also I have hundreds of children's books, and eventually I want to write some, which I should be doing right now while I'm stuck in here. But there's a book, I forget what it's called, but it's about ants and how we look at, it's a children's book about how they're living creatures and we step on them and crush them or whatever, but it like takes a view of like how we treat living creatures and to stop stepping on the ants, basically.
I love that. We have a question that I always wonder too, which is how do you wrangle the little ones on the metro?
Good question. So we have 3 assistants. So it's me and myself and 3 others. And usually I have about 2 assistants every metro trip. And we don't have all the kids on the metro. Some are a little young. Some are ready for it at like 2.5, which is so crazy to say. But we usually have 4 adults for every 4 kids. And also, it's funny, all the parents and the grandparents love to come with us because we'll go to places that they've never even been. So like this year we went to Homeboy Industries a few months ago, if you know about Homeboy Industries, where former gang members have their own bakery and their own they do like job placements and all kinds of stuff in this place near Chinatown. I had more adults than kids on that trip.
Wow.
Fascinating, which is awesome. So I always have enough help, and I teach them the rules of the metro. You always have to hold on to something, and I do this thing where I call it surfboard legs, so they have to have their balance all over. But they get used to it. They strap on their little backpacks, and we're good to go.
I love that.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. And as a side note, just as a quick side note, Nan, Gail was saying she used to use plants like beets and stuff to dye clothing.
Yes.
Oh, really cool.
Interesting.
And then Lisa said we can do it
puppets.
with makeup. We should try that with puppets. It's a good idea.
What did they up?
The other one said you can do it with use it for makeup too. Lisa said you can.
Yeah, totally. The one thing is, it does stain because it's a dye. Because people do use beet juice as dye, so you have to be very careful of that stuff. Because I definitely had a couple of parents get a little pissed off if you side eye when they got home. But, yeah.
Small sacrifice.
If you spill your Cabernet during the quarantine, if you've had too much, you can also use that to write.
So you've been told.
Not that you would know that from experience.
Oh, clue.
Yeah. I Googled it. Oh, man.
So now, have you been completely cut off from the kids during the quarantine?
I have, when I got word about the lockdown, and plus I had a teleconference with the mayor, so I kind of knew stuff was coming, and I went in a full-on panic mode, and I turned this living room into an emergency school and put together tons of packages of lessons and supplies so that I could teach them virtually for the next couple months because I knew it was coming. So I went to everyone's house from a distance and dropped it off. And so I've been doing that about every couple weeks. I'll go to my kids' houses, and from the window from far away, I'll talk to them, which is the most heartbreaking thing ever. But like last night, one of my kids was sending me videos at bedtime. So we kept talking and texting each other videos. And I tried Zoom, and it's just too much for little ones. And I don't want them to have all this screen time. I've been doing lessons on YouTube and trying to figure out how to do like a subscription kind of thing with that. Because I even have friends in Ireland that are asking for science lessons that I do and stuff. So I do YouTube and talk to the kids in texts and stuff, but it's hard. That's when I had my meltdown this week. I finally cried because they're truly my best friends. So not having them to hug and check in on each other, and I know that I'm like their safety net, that they can talk to me about stuff that they don't talk to their parents about, and they don't have that. So I think it's really hard.
Yeah.
How are they holding up?
They're pretty good. I had one little girl who had to have surgery last week for a burst appendix, which was, but they're doing okay. They keep questioning things. The parents are texting me saying, why can't I see my friends? And it's such a hard thing to grasp at 3 or 4 years old. But
Yeah.
I mean, brilliant. They're getting through.
Yeah.
And some kids are thriving in this. I check in with my older kids that I had years ago that are now 10 or 11, and some of them love it. And you got to think about the plus sides. It's like, maybe some were bullied in school, or I have one girl, I think she was so sick of kids always interrupting the teacher, talking too much. She's thriving. She loves it. She's like, now I can really focus and get so much stuff done. So there are some plus sides. It'll be interesting to see what happens after all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, our introverted nephew is beside himself. He's so happy. His father just found out that they're probably going to have to go back to school in July. He's like, I'm not telling him. I can't break it to him. He's so happy right now.
I know, that's the thing I'm thinking of, is doing the school year, which the governor kind of mentioned too as a possibility, but doing it early. So I can't wait. I want to do it.
Yeah. Well, it must be hard for you to not be outside too.
Yeah, it's a bummer. So we'll see when the parks open up officially.
Yeah. So you have been using your time very well. And one of the things you've been doing is postcards, which you have done in the past. So can you tell everybody about what you do?
Yeah. So one of the partnerships that I formed with my school is with a place called Triangle Square, which is the nation's largest low-income housing development for LGBTQ seniors. So they range from like 60 to 90 years old, and we play bingo with them once a month, which is
and the kids.
Yeah, the kids and the seniors.
So great.
And, I mean, that's a real bummer right now too, is like the seniors are missing that and the kids are missing that. But it made me nervous a couple weeks ago. I got money funded for Triangle Square through the council to help them during this emergency with food and stuff. But I was thinking, God, they're just cooped up in their apartments over there. So I wanted to have the kids make them postcards. So that was one of the assignments I gave them this week. But we also partner with my amazing girlfriends who have this organization called SELA, which is kind of like a consortium of different neighborhoods that help the homeless, and they do mobile showers and hygiene kits and stuff. And they've been asking for cards to stick in their hygiene kits. So we're making postcards for the unhoused and for the seniors.
That's awesome. And we should say right now, for any of you who were hoping to see Erica Wright, who was our guest a couple weeks ago, Erica was unable to make it today. She's feeling a little under the weather, so send her good healing thoughts, and she apologizes for not being here.
I know, we miss you, Erica.
I know, we love you, Erica, and we hope you get better soon. We know you will.
Yes.
Oh, and who's that?
Oh, special guest appearance.
Introduce us.
Oh, this is Sugar. I got her this past Thanksgiving because I was super down in the dumps, and I fostered dogs a lot anyway, but I was like, it's time for me to get a dog. The daylight saving time this year wrecked me. I was getting so bummed out for the first time ever. Someone said I was close to menopause. And
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Mood swings like crazy.
Remember that crankiness I was telling you about earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, but darkness at 4:30, it was killing me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my girlfriend Addie has her own dog rescue, and I texted her and I was like, I have got to have a dog. So she's like, you gotta. I'm convinced this dog Sugar is your dog. It's like, oh man, I don't want a Chihuahua. I don't want a small dog. I brought her to school, and she lets the kids just manhandle her, and she gets in my backpack and goes hiking with us to the observatory. So it's like, she's mine. So now I'm obsessed with her in an almost unhealthy way. She's my life.
I love her name.
I know, Sugar, so great.
I was gonna rename her, and I was
So
like
cute.
a female activist name. I was like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't think I'd get married if I'm in the park going, Ruth, where are you?
Yeah, you got to pick your battles.
Yeah. Well, she's a sugar. She is a sugar.
I know.
She
So
is.
sweet.
She is.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we make postcards, these can be, I don't know if we can put links in this later, but they can be sent to both places.
Excellent.
Perfect. Yes, we can definitely do that.
That would be awesome.
So, like, what kinds of messages do you tend to write on the cards?
I always make a point to say you're loved. Stay safe. We see you is a big one that the kids write, or I just try to tell the kids and grown-ups alike, just imagine if you're unhoused or if you're a senior with family around, what are the words that you'd want to hear that would just make your day?
Yeah.
And it was, I started doing this years ago, and there was one night, it was, and I had a couple friends in my car, and it was full of clothes and cards that my preschoolers had made. This was probably like 7 years ago. And we were going down Hollywood and Vine, and this guy who was actually transitioning needed underwear, and he didn't know how to ask for women's underwear. So we gave him a package of clothes and underwear and stuff that I had prepared just by chance. I had all these packages and this card, and it was a butterfly, and it said, "You are loved." And I gave it to him, and he looked like he was going to cry.
Wow.
And we drove in a loop and came back, and we noticed he had decorated within 5 minutes, his homeless encampment with cards, and he had put that butterfly in the top. And it was just like such an eye-opener of like, these people, when was the last time they've ever received a card, and what kind of message make you feel better and feel taken care of? So I mean, there's nothing that's too mushy really to say, because they're so desperate for any kind of love out there.
Yeah. Oh, that's incredible.
Well, let's
if we haven't said it to you within the last 20 minutes, you're an awesome person.
Yeah.
Back at you.
Yeah, true. You are. You are. All right. I want to make some cards. So
we got little cards already. We ordered supplies.
I love it. And I even I've been using index cards too, which I mean,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. So if anybody is watching, has suggestions on things to write on the cards that they would like to, either that they're going to write or they think we should write.
Yeah.
Even a joke that you can write on the card.
A joke would be good.
I don't know if they want my dirty jokes, but
yeah, probably not dirty jokes, but I only know dirty jokes. Or like really, really long jokes. I don't know. Does anybody have a good knock-knock joke?
Right.
Those seem especially appropriate right now.
I see videos online now that teenagers are so cooped up with their parents. they're telling their parents really dirty jokes and videotaping it, their action. And it's so funny to watch the parents that are like, oh my God.
I saw one that was it was like a set of like an older woman and a young, like a teenage kid, and they would like tell jokes to each other. And a lot of times the kids are like, I don't get it, you know. That's good. You'll get it someday. Our cousin Aileen says it's a family trait to tell long and dirty jokes.
It is.
Which I believe. Especially the long part.
Yeah.
My grandmother and I definitely, I mean, I still talk to her at midnight back in Massachusetts. And she said there's something about me that makes her swear and tell dirty jokes the second we start talking. She was saying the other night, she's like, you know, she always says, I always wanted to be a nun when I was younger, but then I realized none of this and none of that.
Now, how is she feeling through all this?
She's good. I mean, it's so hard for these older people. Like my cousins go and visit her and they have to talk through the windows and stuff. And my grandmother, she gets so antsy. Thank God she has a huge yard and she picks weeds and walks around in her pajamas and does that stuff. And she's near the beach, but just to not go to the store. I know her older friends are still going and they're very defiant. She's very strict about it. She's like, I'm not putting myself in that danger. But you got to get your medications and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, I know a lot of people, older people that are like, what? I'm going out. It's like, okay, but it's not a good idea. Don't know what to tell you.
Right.
And that's another group that's good to write these cards for too, is just people that are just in assisted living and nursing homes right now. Because a lot of them can't even
can't see their families.
We have a friend whose mother is like stuck in her room. You know, she's a single room. She can't go out and even see other people in the assisted living. So it's hard.
Yeah.
Erin, we have a question for you. Where in Boston are you from? Tell everybody about your family's restaurant and everything.
I was born and raised on Cape Cod in Yarmouth. I was raised in my family's Italian restaurant in Dennis near the Cape Playhouse.
Right.
That's where my sailor mouth comes from. And then I went to school in Boston at Wheelock College, right in Fenway. And I lived in Boston for years. I lived in Brookline and in Brighton. So I moved here from Brighton in 2006.
Where in Brookline were you?
On Colchester Avenue. So right near, I was off of the D line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember the stop now because I'm so old, but it was near, Beacon Street. In Brookline.
All right.
I lived in college. I lived on Park Place, which was off of Beacon.
Okay.
And like at BU, so it was down.
Okay.
It was like if you went from Fenway up Beacon Street, there was like nothing for a while. You kind of went over a bridge, and then all of a sudden there was like apartment buildings.
Yep.
I was in that. It's a great neighborhood.
I know. I do miss that area.
Yeah.
Back to Boston as much as I'd like, but God, it's changed so much.
So much. The South End is crazy.
When was the last time you were there?
Been a few years, actually. I used to go twice a year, and I haven't been in a few years. After my dad died, it was not as urgent, because I used to go back and take him to doctor's appointments and stuff, but we still have a brother and our nieces and nephews there, so I try to get back, but it's just been crazy. And we were supposed to go in a few weeks for our nephew's graduation, but that's not going to happen.
I know.
Oh, where was he? Is this college or high school?
High school. He's graduating from Needham High, and he just accepted. He's going to go to University of Baltimore in the fall.
Oh wow!
University of Maryland.
Oh right, University of Maryland in Baltimore. Sorry.
Now, what is it like for, I can't remember, for college students next year? Is it still, are they going to be able to start in the beginning of the
They don't know.
I mean, what they're saying is they're going to.
Yeah.
That they're going to have in-person classes in the fall. But I think it's going to depend on what happens in the fall, whether people are, things are flaring up or not, how well behaved everybody is over the summer.
Yeah.
I know.
It's going to be interesting because especially if you're going to school in a different state, because each state is handling this totally differently.
Right.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are not very impressed with the governor in Boston, Massachusetts, but
yeah, it seems kind of weird out there. I mean, I think I will say for myself, I feel grateful every day that we're in California because I feel like it's being taken seriously.
I agree.
And I think that they're going to phase back into it as carefully as they can. But I feel like I know more people in Massachusetts. Maybe I'm wrong, and people who are in Massachusetts can chime in. But I feel like more people I know in Massachusetts are saying like, "Oh yeah, I just got back from going to see so and so," or it's like, "You were out just doing something fun." Like that sounds really dangerous.
Yeah.
But that's a Boston attitude too, which is
right.
why we love that we're from Boston and why we love all our Boston family still.
I know. If there is any time that you need a perk, my mom got me hooked on a comedian that I remember seeing live years ago named Bob Marley. And Bob Marley is in Maine, and he does he calls it Chrono Watch, and he does a comedy skit for about 2 minutes from like his garage every day.
Oh, cool.
So funny, and it's
Bob Marley.
It's easy to remember.
Yeah,
it's really good.
I'm going to mention Madonna and Robin like too many times during the course of this, probably for their own good. But Madonna had posted that comedian a couple weeks ago on Facebook. Do you remember his name, Nan?
Oh, I don't remember his name. What's his name?
Lisa Barbosa probably knows it. And I had never heard of him before, and he's hysterical.
He's hysterical.
And now I'm obsessed with him, and I watch him all the time.
He's the guy the guy that does that bit about when you get someone knocking on your door now versus 10 years ago. And how it used to be like, oh, we have company, get out the good dishes. And now it's like, get down, hide, turn off the lights.
Why does your grandmother have a sword? That's my favorite one. Robin is on, and she says his name is Sebastian.
Right.
Is his name Sebastian?
Sebastian. Mm-hmm. He's really funny.
Yes.
I think he's from New York, but he feels like a Boston Italian. And
he does.
Yeah, the thing with the visitors is it's funny because it was recorded even before this. Now it's even more.
Right.
Now it's like I hear somebody like the mailman outside. I'm like completely freaked out. Like, how anybody come within 20 feet of my house?
Right. Another idea too that I had my kids do and that I did is to decorate your door for the delivery people that are.
Oh, that's awesome.
Love that.
I actually drove by one of my students' houses and he did it, and it was so heartwarming to see that it said just like big signs that say thank you, we appreciate you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I put up the comedian's name on the screen. His name is Sebastian Maniscalco. So thank you, Robin, for telling us. And we actually have a link. Someone posted a link. Robin posted a link in the comments to Sebastian's Facebook page, which we highly recommend. And Aileen, not surprisingly, is a big unicorn person, so she has a unicorn wreath on her door.
Oh, I love it.
Really nice. We haven't decorated yet. We should definitely
do that.
Out.
I schedule pickups with the post office a lot because we sell our box. So a couple times a week, I put out a bunch of boxes for the mailman to take. So I always leave a little note for him when I do that because he's lugging around all our boxes all afternoon.
I know.
They must be getting a workout right
now.
Yeah.
Not to mention the grocery delivery people who I'm like,
Oh,
yeah,
I
no, I
know.
really want 4 giant bottles of water. I'm really sorry.
Oh, my girlfriend did me a huge favor and she ordered some stuff from Target when we were all like really, really locked down and just too scared to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I also have a cat, so she ordered me a 35-pound box of cat litter. So bad, I could barely pick up the thing. I'm like, some poor asshole had to carry this thing.
That's what it's like. Can I go in and make the tip bigger? I hope I can make the tip
Right?
bigger.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just a reminder to people that are doing food takeout too, to do it directly from the restaurants, because something that the city council is voting on either today or tomorrow, we had meetings at 10 a.m., is to stop these services from gouging these
Yeah.
poor businesses, because they're
Yeah.
charging 30 to 40%. So we're trying to cap it at 15%, because
Yeah.
I've been talking to the local cafes because I'll try to support them and just grab a coffee, and they're just getting raked over the coals with this stuff. So
like DoorDash is charging a restaurant a higher fee to deliver their food for them.
a huge fee. And then and the
Wow.
people like the Postmate drivers, they're also taking a cut. And one thing I didn't realize is stuff like Grubhub and DoorDash and stuff like that, they'll put out promo codes that the restaurants don't even know about. So when they actually get paid for food, it'll say promo code, -$6 or whatever.
Right.
And they're like, but I didn't put out a coupon or a promo code,
Oh God.
forcing it on these businesses.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have a
Oh.
question from someone who's in with the city. Where can you go to complain about a restaurant that's not following the guidelines?
Well, for LA, the mayor has a hotline and they're really promoting it. They're I don't want to say tattling, but
Yeah.
they really want you to tell them what's
Yeah.
going on, and they're actually being very good about it. And I know that a couple people have used it and were shocked that they got a response right away and people answered right away. So
Mhm.
on the, I think it's lacity.gov, I think that is the mayor's website. It could be wrong, but there's a bunch of links for resources and stuff like that. Luckily, have you guys seen many people not paying attention to?
We had an incident the other day. I won't say the name of the restaurant, but I will check out that hotline. There's a fish restaurant, really good fish restaurant, and it's kosher. So they're really strict with their guidelines. And we went there 2 weeks ago, and it was great. And then we found out a few days ago that a friend of ours in our neighborhood has coronavirus, and his doctor said you should eat protein. So we were like, oh, let's go to that fish restaurant and get him a nice fish, salmon dinner. So we pulled up at the restaurant, and there were 2 cars in front of us. I see someone come out to the first car, no mask, no gloves.
Oh no.
And I'm like, and I've been like, followed by the rules. So like if we leave the house, we have gloves on, we have a mask on. I'm always like, don't touch that, wash your face, so I'm just a pain in the ass.
Right.
And so in my head, I'm like, oh no, this is not going to go well. And then next car, different guy comes out, no gloves, no mask.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I said, you can do what you want. I just want you to know I'm not going to eat this food. And I don't think we should bring it to somebody who's sick because no one's wearing masks and gloves.
Right.
So we called into the restaurant and we said, we don't, first we were like, we want you to remake the food. And then I said, yeah, but we were just watching Cuomo on the news this morning. And he said what we already know, which is the worst surface for the virus is chrome, that it stays on chrome for a really long time. And I said, every surface, we've been in that restaurant. It's like one of those restaurants where you can watch the people cooking. Every surface in that kitchen is chrome. And there is absolutely no way I'm eating from there, or that I think you should eat from there, or that we should bring food to people from there, because they are now potentially completely. And while we're talking, this girl goes in to pick up her food, she had a mask on, which was not. I thought it wasn't entirely covering her face, and she as we're on the phone with the guy from the restaurant, whose excuse was, "Oh yeah, I stepped out for a few minutes." He was the manager. "I stepped out for a few minutes, and when I came back, I saw they weren't wearing masks and gloves, and I told them all to put them on." But so as we're saying, like, there's a woman in your store who we think doesn't have a mask on. He was like, "Oh no, she has a mask," but then she sneezed in the middle of the restaurant.
Oh God.
So he asked her to leave, but it's like, yeah, but she already sneezed, and I don't think the mask was on her nose. And so we end of the day, they refunded the order, and we went to another restaurant.
Oh, that's awful.
It was really
that's
bad. And especially, we were saying, like, you're a kosher restaurant. To be certified as kosher, you have to like follow these incredibly strict guidelines, and you're, you can't bill yourself as that. And you know what, guys? I have to interrupt. I'm getting a really nice iced tea delivery. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I hope he was wearing gloves and a mask.
He's the best. He was so good. And this restaurant, which I will say the name of, Dune in Atwater Village, is really good. They wear masks, they wear gloves. Really good restaurant. Very safe.
Oh, cool.
They're good. Village Bakery by us is really good.
Yeah. I have to say that I have not left my home in 8 weeks, nor have I ordered any takeout or anything. It's crazy. No, my husband is a real germaphobe, and it really freaks him out on a good day. But it's just like, if I can save his peace of mind by not going out there, then that's fine. We have a nice backyard. I spend a lot of time out back, play with the dog out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's getting a little antsy though. He asked me the other day if I had ordered masks yet, so maybe we could go for a walk. So I think even he's cracking.
I know my dad Venmo'd me gas money when I was having such a bad day the other day, and he's like, "Go for a road trip," and I was like, "Oh, thank you so much." Like, I can't, because if I have to pee, there's no public bathroom.
Totally. Right. I make sure I go. I'm like, okay, we're gonna leave in 5 minutes. I'm gonna wait until right before we go. I have a whole strategy when we go out.
Right.
Crazy. I put my cell phone in a sandwich bag because I'm like, then I don't have to like sterilize it when I come home. I've got all these like crazy, and I'm like not the neatest person in the world. Like, if I turn this camera around, my house is a mess. But I'm like obsessed with the cleanliness right now.
That's like when you go to a hotel and you're supposed to put the remote in a Ziploc bag because the remote's the dirtiest part of the hotel room.
Totally. I've decided that when I start traveling again, wherever I go, I'm just going to go buy sheets and put them on the hotel. I'm like not gonna use hotel sheets ever again. Bring my own towels. Just go to like a 99-cent store, Big Lots, buy the cheapest thing you can find.
Right. Yeah. True. I actually thought in the beginning, my friend Guy showed me that he had a cell phone sanitizer. So I bought one. It was my one splurge. It was $70. It's not cheap, but it uses UV rays and it sanitizes your phone in like 60 seconds or something.
Wow, that's amazing.
I'm so sick of the Lysol fumes in this.
I know. Yeah. That UV rays thing is a good idea. Maybe we could pipe that into our body.
Yeah. We should talk to someone about that.
Right?
I don't know why we hadn't thought of that before.
Some orange bag.
I have a question from a viewer. Can I make a postcard? This is from Gail. Can I make a postcard and send it in later?
Yes. Is Gail local?
Gail is in Southern California. I'm not 100% sure what part of Southern California, but
I I mean, I'll post the links to the addresses to send it. But if people are in other parts of the country, if they want to maybe look up the nursing homes, or if there's an LGBT center there, they can find the address there, because I'm sure everyone would be so happy to get something in the mail.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and we have a couple people too, just like our, relatives, moms who are in assisted living and things like that, that if people want like a specific person to send to, let us know and we can direct message you some addresses. A friend of ours has a mom in Kansas who we all sent her cards when this started, 2 months ago. And I'm sure she would love to get some more cards from people. So we can definitely add information. So yes, the answer is yes, you can absolutely do it later. And we will be happy to give you information for that.
I had my girlfriend from Massachusetts who lives in LA. She texted yesterday. She had a neighbor in Echo Park who I think she's in her late 80s, who was very, very embarrassed and knocked on their door because this woman didn't have money for her medications anymore.
Oh boy.
I keep saying this to my council members. I really think the senior demographic is just so overlooked, and it's so hard for them. It's not like they have the internet to go and order their groceries, then don't get the resources. They don't know who to call. They don't know what to do. So luckily a lot of neighborhoods have rallied and they've knocked on seniors' doors and stuff like that. But it's hard in LA because we're so disconnected to people. I mean,
It's really hard.
now it would have been so much easier to know where your senior neighbors are, but it's a lot harder here.
Yeah.
Or you'd live with your older relatives, it's like back in Boston, all of our, Italian aunts and grandparents had relatives that lived with them.
Right.
It's really incredible. We luckily have the, phone number for our neighbors, so we can just text every once in a while and see how they're doing. And, and I think, one thing to remember too is you can like order food for people now. Like I do that, have offered that for seniors that I know. Like I know it's hard for you to go online and figure out how to order from Instacart, but we can do that for you. So anything like that you can think of, or anybody who has any suggestions like that, we would love to hear them. Gail is in Anaheim. So I'm sure there are places down there. Actually, our friend Robin, who I'm going to mention, I haven't mentioned her in 15 minutes. So I'm going to mention Robin. Robin may actually know of some organizations down there. Robin's wife, Madonna, is the executive director of Christopher Street West in LA. So they know people everywhere. So Robin, if you have any suggestions or a resource where people can find that kind of information, feel free to post it for everybody. She says, I do. Of course you do, Robin, because you are amazing.
Yeah,
Gotta love her.
Another place too, my friend is a nurse at the VA hospital, and they're seniors as well. And poor my friend Quinn, he's a nurse over there, and he dealt with someone who got COVID, and he died while he was trying to get to his lungs. But I know they accept postcards, but it's a funny thing. It was a good learning experience for me when I asked him about it last year, because he connected me with a director over there, and there are certain things they can't accept, like glitter, or it can't have kind of religious message on it. So it's important.
Oh, that's interesting.
Pretty simple. Yeah, I know. It was something I was glad to hear, because I had never thought about that kind of stuff before.
I better rip up this card that I just made with the cross and the Star of David on it. We're in trouble now. So Robin posted SanDiegoPride.org, SDPride.org.
Awesome.
Thank you, Robin. That's awesome. And I would imagine, Robin, that there's probably Pride websites, a lot of local chapters like that people can find, like in Boston and Pennsylvania, things like that. I'm guessing, but
Robin and Madonna, I mean, of course, they would be the best people ever to have live.
Yes.
I know that they're going through a lot because they're postponing or rescheduling Pride now.
Right.
I think, Robin, you can correct me, but it's a 50th anniversary this
It
year.
is.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, it's a big thing that they're doing.
Yeah, I thought I read something yesterday that they're doing some kind of virtual event in June for the anniversary, but I'm not sure. So
Yeah.
I believe that's right.
we will get Robin and Madonna on to talk about it.
Yeah.
We hope so. Robin, do you hear us? Do you hear us? But in the meantime, we're getting some good information. So Robin says, yes, all prides are .org. And Lisa Barbosa is saying, oh, Christopher Street West, LA Pride. Let's see, Pittsburgh Pride. Our cousin Aileen is posting about Pittsburgh Pride, which is awesome. And then, and Robin said, yeah, Global Pride.
Awesome.
And Gail actually has another place in Anaheim called Pathways of Hope, and she's going to post a link about that. So yeah, anybody that has any of those kind of suggestions, it's awesome. The other thing we were, Nancy and I were talking about earlier was just Mother's Day. Like, you know, if there are any seniors in your life, you know, your mother-in-law, your best friend's mother or something, Mother's Day is going to be a really hard day for a lot of people. I know we actually might break our rule of not going places too much and drive out to Fontana and at least stand in the street and wave to the mother in our life, because it's really frustrating for them, you know, and we can't even, some of them, you know, it's hard even for some older people to get on Zoom and things like that. So they're, you know, we're all lucky we're able to kind of stay in touch with each other, but they're having a hard time keeping connected because they can't really even, you know, work around the technology. So,
I did see a very cute video a couple weeks ago of grandparents that were so desperate to see their grandkids. They put on scuba suits and they just so they could hug them, which totally made me.
I love that.
Oh, that's so great.
I love that. Yeah, you got to get creative, and now's the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So speaking of creative, you also were going to tell us some of the activities that you've been doing with your students, for your students, or that moms and dads can do with their kids while they're in quarantine.
Yes. You know what? I should grab it. Where did I put it? Hold on.
Well, yeah, while you're looking, I'm going to add that Robin has posted this link. This is the link for the Global Prides 2020. All the prides around the world are creating this event. So that's awesome. Really amazing. So this is in the thread, everybody. So you can take a look at that. Really important that we support the LGBTQ community during this time, because everybody needs support, and these big events that people come to count on and love and enjoy, you know, it's really sad that they're not happening in person, but it's so great that they're happening virtually right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what you got for us?
Okay, so one thing I've been doing that I haven't done with my kids yet this week, but I have so many magazines that I've saved for my students just to make collages and cut up stuff. I've been making these little canvases with pictures of, let's see, God, I have so many. This is what I do at 3:00 in the morning.
Here, I'm going to make you big.
With a bottle of wine. And I just make
that's so cool.
How do I make you big? Hold on, everybody. I'm experimenting. No, I can't make you big. I'm not capable of that.
All right. I mean, I have some that they're a little foul-mouthed because I was watching Sex in the City. So,
so where do you get the little canvases?
My mom, because I was doing so much art in the beginning of the quarantine, I was doing watercolor paintings. Every night I would paint a canned good because everyone was racing to the grocery store. And I might as well make this funny, and I'll paint a canned good every day.
Those are awesome.
And I taught the kids about Andy Warhol that week. So I was doing all these watercolors, and she sent me all these canvases, which has been a savior. Another thing, I teach kids about Matisse each year. So, and I also used to teach art to unhoused women for a couple years. And I saved one of the Matisse pictures that they did. A woman did this who lived in a tent, and that's how talented she was.
Wow.
She actually made it 3D. These clouds are actually like tissue paper and stuff.
Oh, wow.
But that's one idea, because Matisse painted with scissors, as they say. So that's one lesson I teach my kids that you can do at home. Another thing is I've saved all my recyclables because it's Earth Month. So like a crazy person, I turned a milk carton into a dump truck.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had toilet paper roll wheels, and then I had bottle cap wheels. And I had my dog Sugar in the passenger. I had Brad Pitt as the driver.
Of course.
That's one.
I love that. So that was just a milk carton that you cut and you use the part of it as the actual dump part.
Exactly. So
that's so cute.
Let's see, it was like that.
That's so great.
Cut it and invert it.
Wow.
And then also when it was Easter time, I mean, I say paper towel rolls and toilet paper rolls for a million things, but we made rabbits out of so and you oh
my God.
Just use whatever you have around the house. I have literally a preschool in my house because supplies, but like cotton balls and buttons or whatever. I mean, get creative now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, God, I have so much crap.
Have the kids been like doing stuff at home and sending you pictures of what they're doing?
I've been urging them to, but I've only gotten a couple reports back. They have been trying to think of one. Yes, and I even had one of the dads made a very impressive truck with a milk carton. So it's kind of cool to see that. I mean, I always say, look at me. I'm 30, almost 39 years old. I like doing this almost more than some of my kids. So anyone can do it. But another thing I did yesterday, because I collect driftwood, and I was walking my dog, and I found this feather, this turquoise feather on our walk. So I made a wall.
Oh, that's cool.
With a piece, because I also have jewelry kits, so I put like a piece of gold on it and whatever. I mean, this is like, I have dorked out to the fullest extent.
So great.
I love it. Love it.
It's such a it's what we all should be doing right now. I mean, I was joking earlier, but I was so excited to get colored markers, and like this made my day to be able to do this, because it's just like And we just ordered embroidery kits. I'm going to learn how to embroider.
Yes.
Smart.
I'm going to pick up my sewing machine from Nancy's house and try and get better at sewing.
Yeah.
Should start doing really simple masks if you can.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Just doing face masks. Yeah.
Yeah. We have tons of fabric here.
Joanne Fabrics, and I think Michael's does it too. I think they might be the same company. They do curbside pickup, so you can get craft stuff and order it.
Oh, I didn't realize they were doing that. That's good. You hear that, Lisa Barbosa?
Yeah. And I think starting soon, a lot more stores are going to be doing that. They'll be allowed to do that. So.
Right.
Yeah, right. They'll reopen and they'll be curbside.
Yeah.
So is there like a project that you haven't done yet that you want to do? Is there something you're like gearing up for?
Well, I ordered one website I really try to support is Etsy with the local artisans selling their stuff. So
Yeah.
I actually bought, this is going to sound like it's some weird kind of kinky thing, but I bought all these leather straps. And they're used to, you can get super creative with them, and you can hang, which I'm going to do over this window behind me. I have collected these huge pieces of driftwood, and I've always wanted to make them into curtain rods. So you take these leather straps and you loop them and you screw them into the wall, and then you put a curtain rod through it. So
that's cool.
yes, that's my project today after a couple margaritas for Cinco de Mayo.
Olé. Yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Oh, I want to see pictures of that when it's done.
Yeah, the curtain rod might be a little crooked, but
That's okay.
I've seen people who like have had driftwood, and they've made like, during this quarantine, they've taken the driftwood and then they've made giant macrame wall hangings from them.
I love that.
Which would be really fun to do.
Yeah,
cool.
my girlfriend Jess had me 2 years ago go to a macrame class, and I had no interest, but I have people to always say yes to everything. So I went, and it's pretty tricky, but with a good instructor, it's doable, and it's fun to make all these macrame plant hangers.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus, you could use beads and stuff to dye the rope.
There you go.
Bringing it full circle, people. That's what we're here for.
You read my mind. I ordered from Etsy a macrame plant shelf because I've always wanted, I'm obsessed with plants, but I always wanted a wall over my couch that was like a plant wall. And this girl, God, she was so cute. She's actually in Asia, and she wrote me, and she was so thankful that people were still ordering to keep her alive and going. Yeah. So, I mean, it was like $30 for a macrame plant shelf that I want to put a piece of reclaimed wood in it. And it's white rope. And I told my mom I was going to dye it in a pot of coffee.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's totally cool.
Fine. Now you're on the same wavelength.
Yep. I'm going to be boiling shit all night making stuff. No more white t-shirts in this house. We have a request to please hold our cards up under our chin.
All right.
Mine are a work in progress, I'd like to say. Oh, that's nice. I was going to write my messages on the back.
I also used some stickers that I had handy.
Great.
There was a little sticker.
Oh, great.
I like that. Oh, look at you. Wow, that's like very polished.
Stickers didn't take long just to stick them. I've been quiet. I've been working.
We can also like do. I have been cutting out quotes from. I got Oprah's magazine. I don't know why I get it in the mail for free. I don't pay for that.
I swear to God, she just sends them to people. I get it too.
I know, and I've been cutting out some quotes that aren't too cheesy, so these can go on post.
Oh, that's a good idea too.
I was I went through her magazine the other day to cut out stuff for collages, and I know she has a rule that she's on the cover of every magazine. And, you know, I shouldn't knock her. There's a lot of cool stuff about Oprah, but it was a magazine of all of her covers. So I'm like, her page. I'm like, this is like narcissism.
I worked on a movie that starred Kevin Costner, and our joke was, and another close-up of me, and another close-up of me. Like, okay, we get it. You're the star of the movie. You're the best. Oh, man. Well, I feel like it's time, unfortunately.
I think sadly we need to wrap it up. Yep.
Yeah, my dog's got to pee.
Oh, Sugar.
Sugar was so good. Angus would never be that quiet and still for a whole hour.
So, Erin, will you post the information for these organizations in the comments?
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. And if anybody has any questions, you know, feel free to post them, and we'll circle back in. We'll all go through later and see if there are any comments or questions you had that we can answer.
Absolutely. anyone, don't forget it's Giving Tuesday. So if you want to even donate $5 to any of those organizations, today's the day.
Yeah,
Today's the day.
absolutely.
Excellent.
Although they may move it again. They may do another one in 3 days. Who knows?
I think every Tuesday should be Giving Tuesday.
Every Tuesday should be Giving Tuesday.
Agreed.
Good point.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. We love you so much. We can't wait till we can give you a big hug again someday.
I agree. I love you guys.
We want to go on one of those field trips too.
Yeah.
I know, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be interesting how even we deal with going on the metro now with sanitation and stuff like that. I'm really hoping it doesn't take that aspect away from our school, but we'll see.
Yeah. You'll roll with it. Maybe you'll get them to come to you.
Yeah. I'm no stranger to the firefighters coming to me. So
I love it. One of the things I love most about you. The girl knows firefighters. Oh, everybody really enjoyed this. They're sending lots of hearts and loves and saying,
yes.
So,
I love you.
Excellent.
We love you too.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Get out.
Wait, Rob, Erin has one more thing to say. What?
I was just saying, try to get out for a drive or a walk. You can do it.
Yeah.
Take the plunge.
Do it.
Yeah, I will. I'll make it happen this weekend. I can feel it. Feel it.
And if you're going to order fish in LA, call me first and I'll make sure you don't go to the
that won't be happening. All right, everyone. So reminder, this Thursday is our tea party with Sashi Chandran from Tea Drops and her mother, May, who's going to make us scones virtually. I'm so excited. And our summer subscription box is on sale. So go to our website and take a sneak peek. We'll make the official announcement tomorrow. And everybody, we love you. Stay home, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay passionate. See you next time.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Sugar.
Bye.
I'll see you girls soon.
Yep.